Hey, you guys, welcome back. It's Coach Adamir on another episode of Living Your Best Life. Um, I kind of wanted to start off today just by saying I'm really grateful for you all who listen and who take the time to hear what I have to say. And I wanted to talk today about how our perspective shapes our world, shapes our reality. So, me being grateful to you guys for listening comes from a place of seeing that no matter what we have going on or maybe not going on in life, there's always something that we can be grateful for, that is adding to our life, enhancing our life, whatever it may be. So I think if we take the time to look at things from a different lens, different angle, whatever, however you want to say that, we can really change what we're grateful for, and what that can provide for us by being so grateful. Um, a lot of this comes because I recently went to El Salvador, my parents' homeland, my home country. I hadn't been there in about 20 years since high school. And there was so much about the trip that I enjoyed. The country itself is just so beautiful. My family, the people there, there's just so many amazing places to visit. And of course, just like any other country, city, wherever you go, not everything was pretty and nice, right? There was some dirty places. There was some messy areas that maybe the locals wouldn't want you to see, right? Like there's parts of LA and downtown we don't like to take people to. Um, and there's still a lot of major infrastructure developments that are on like in the process right now, but also that still need to be done. And I don't even know how long that's going to take, or what kind of project that entails. And so there was plenty of things that I noticed while what that we take for granted, and like we see it because we have those things available, but the people over there, they don't even realize what they're missing in a sense, and that their lives could theoretically be easier. But when you don't see things from a perspective of having things, then you don't really know what you're missing. That makes sense, right? Nod your head, please. um, and there was also just so much I noticed about how the people out there just live their lives. And we need to work to earn a living. They need to work to earn a living. But talking to my family, being around my family's friends, everyone that was there, it just, I don't know, you don't really feel that stress of, oh, I don't have enough, and oh, I need to pay bills, or it didn't seem that way. And of course, I don't know like what's going on behind the scenes, but there's just some sort of energy you feel when you're around people. And that's kind of what I felt, like everyone was still happy. The stress just didn't seem to be there. Um, and so coming home, and I wouldn't say like I take things for granted, but you don't realize the the conveniences that we have. We don't realize sometimes how much attention and energy we put into things that don't matter as much. Um, and I don't want to say work doesn't matter. Work does matter, but sometimes we put too much energy and stress on it, and at the end of the day, it is just work, right? And so, yeah. um, that's my intro. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Just perspective, not necessarily gratitude, but gratitude being part of that perspective. Um, and so for anyone who's new here, welcome. That was a little lengthy intro. Sorry about that. But welcome to my podcast. It's a podcast about health, life, fitness, nutrition, motivation. I think all the areas in our life that we didn't really get taught as we grew up. And now that we have the resources available for each other, my mission, my goal, my hope is to just improve as many lives as I can. So if you're listening, I hope you take something from this. Thank you. Um, Here we go. A lot of the main things I noticed, I think I mentioned it just a second ago with people working every day to earn a living. There, there was still this balance between work and life. Um, Work was only in the morning, especially if you had a business in the marketplace. It usually closed by like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock maybe. So everyone's going home at about the same time, um, spending time with their family, spending time with friends. Most people walked, so there was a lot of uh, camaraderie, I guess you could say. Um, and unless you worked in like the service industry, like at a restaurant or a convenience store, which there's not a lot of those either, so I guess it wouldn't be a convenience store, it's just a store out there. Um, m- Most things were done by 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. maybe, the latest. So the evening was only for family and friends, spending time with neighbors. People would sit outside on their porch. Like the houses are pretty close to each other. So you could sit outside, have a chair right outside your door and chit chat with your neighbors for the whole evening. So, it was really nice to see that. And some people even worked from home. Now, when I say work from home, I don't mean on a laptop, Zoom calls, meetings, things like that. No, no, no. Their houses are designed. My mom was telling Audrey, like in a corridor, like, so you get the front door and then you walk all the way through towards the back of the house, right? The front area is like a living room, but most people have converted that into like a storefront. So they have fruits, vegetables, like home supplies, things like that you need. So people had stores in their house, and then when business hours were over, they'd close up, lock up, and no one would bother them. Um, so it was really cool to see that they have a really good balance between that. They don't put so much importance on working rather than spending time with their family. So that was really cool to see. And it really looked like all their basic needs were met. No one really was living above their means. Um, there's not a lot of cars out there as far in the little town that we were in, because it doesn't make sense to have that many cars. So people walked. There was scooters, bikes. Um, so there's no need to keep up with a super fancy car. You just live. And even those who you'd see maybe just seem to have very little, they just carried on, smile on their face. You'd see people sitting in the park doing absolutely nothing for like 2 hours. And it was just really nice to see. Um, the other thing I really noticed was our health and nutrition out here. A lot of us may not put so much importance on it. I think we're starting to. More of us are, as we realize how important it is for our overall longevity. But there's little things that we don't realize. Like, it's important to stay hydrated. We all know that. So what do? We go to the fridge, we fill up our water bottle or the sink or get water, whatever. We have water like within arm's reach for the most part. So I think we take our access to water for granted. I drink a lot of water every day, as much as I can, as much as I need to. When I was out there, I was there for 11 days, 12 days. I don't think I drank. Yeah, I definitely didn't drink enough water. I don't know how much I drank, but I probably drank maybe 3 or 4 days worth of what I normally do in 12 days. Um, and that's because, like I mentioned earlier, with the infrastructure developments and issues and things like that, there's no clean, safe running water. Now, you could drink if you wanted to, but it's probably best if you're from there to drink some of the water. Um, so it's best to drink it from a water bottle. If you're at a restaurant, you ask for water. Here in the States, you get a cup with ice, maybe a little lemon, right? In El Salvador, they ask you if you want room temperature or cold, and it comes in a water bottle. So if you don't have any water at home, you better make sure you go to the grocery store or the store before you get home. Now, if it's already after 8 o'clock or 9, well, you're screwed. You're not getting water till tomorrow. So you have to be more aware of it. Um, so drink your water, people. Don't take it for granted. And then, like vegetables, we have farmers markets probably every day from what I've seen. We have a grocery store on every block. For example, down the street from me, I have a Smart and Final, a Food for Less, and then there's a Vallarta and a Vaughn's. So there's plenty of options for me. Um, but I didn't see that over there. In the town we were in, I don't think I saw a big box grocery store. You'd have to drive maybe about 20, 30 minutes outside the town just to get to the closest store so you can have the fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that. And that's only if you have your own car, right? If you didn't have a car, you probably had to take the bus. That's going to take a lot longer. That's a big hassle. Um, so, again, the health and nutrition out there is a lot tougher to be like on it because your access to good clean food isn't as easy as ours. Um and the marketplace in town that did have fruits and vegetables, I don't know if they were fresh. I don't know how long they've been there. Um most of them aren't refrigerated, right? They're out in the sun. Um and bugs on it, but for them it's okay, right? Like for us, we see that as, yeah, I'm not going to eat that. So don't take your fruits and vegetables for granted, people. Eat them, please. It's good for you. um, and then exercise wasn't like as big as out here, right? Like you don't see um people running outside in the morning. You don't see people at the park doing exercises like a group class or anything like that. And I do have a couple gyms in the town that we were at. I did see some, but it didn't seem like so popular, and it didn't seem like it was well maintained or cared for. And that goes to show that sure, go ahead and exercise, but it's we don't see the importance in it. It's more of a young people thing out there. It looked like, and again, most people walk to work. Most people walk for work. Most people have manual labor jobs who work in the fields. So exercise isn't really at the forefront. They're moving all the time. They're not as sedentary as we are. So while conventional exercise may not seem important to them, it's still part of their everyday life because of how they move throughout the day. So if you don't like to exercise, go walk for 30 minutes every day. Go take a hike. Um, Find a manual labor volunteer work. I don't know. That's don't do that. I mean, you could. That'd be kind of fun. I'll join you. Let me know. Excuse me. And the last thing, you guys, that I really noticed, which I thought was super cool, and I'm a little like jealous of in a sense, was just the sense of family and community. Everyone there is super, super nice. And when you're walking through town, when you're walking in the city, anytime you walk by someone, they say hello. Whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, it's good morning, good afternoon, good night. Um, God bless, whatever it is that they wanted to say. They warmly greet you as you pass them, or as they see you, um, walking wherever. They just, if they recognize you, they'll say hello. If they don't, they'll still say hello. Um, and it's funny, it was so nice to do that when I was out there. Like every time I walked by somebody, I was like, "Hi, good morning." It was really nice. The smile on your face, it made them smile, it made them feel nice. They know that I'm not from there. It's a small town. They know everybody in town, so they know that me and Audrey are outsiders. And when we come in and we're just as nice as they are, it's very warming to them. So when I got back to the States, you walk by somebody out here, their head is buried in their phone, or they're just staring straight, uh, hard faced. Like, it's, you say hello or you try to smile, but they look at you like you're a weirdo. Um, so let's try to bring that out here, you guys. But yeah, family and community super important over there. And most of the people actually get to spend the whole day with their family. They work these little markets in the marketplace, little shops or whatever. Um, Kids don't necessarily all go to school. It's just not as available as here, right? We have public schools that you can just send your kid to. Over there, it's all private education. There's no public education through the government. So you have to pay for school, um, or get some sort of help, right? So, and it's not always available. So most parents just take their kids with them to work, which is fine. I mean, they learn real life business. They learn real life, I guess. I don't know what to say after that. They learn real life. Um, and then, as I said earlier, some of them have shops in their house. So the kids are in the living room playing while the shop is right in front, or they're reading or whatever. They're not doing anything. Um, and then also, because we went at the end of November, beginning of December, um, December 1st out there starts the holiday festivities, the party. Um, and in the town that we were in, they have like a park in the center of town, and it's completely decorated for Christmas. There's a huge tree put in the center. There's a tree lighting done. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the lighting because we left the morning of the tree lighting, so we left like 6 hours too early. But anyways, um, it just, along with that sense of family and community, it just, holidays seemed more important to them. They really wanted to share it with their friends. They wanted to share it with the town. They wanted to share it with family from December 1st all the way through the new year. So for 30 days, there is, I don't want to say parties every night, but there's what they call fiesta every night. Fiesta is like celebration. Um, and they either have dancing, they just have music, they have uh, vendors everywhere, food vendors, like little souvenir vend, everything. So it's really cool to see. Um, and made me kind of jealous, because I was coming home to angry people at the grocery store because it's the holidays. And yeah, so overall, the trip was fun. I mean, I had an amazing time with my family, getting to know parts of the country I never knew existed, seeing parts that I saw as a kid but didn't really understand the value of it and the experience of it. So just being in such an environment, and immersed in a different culture that's also my culture, um, definitely made me see things in a different perspective, made me a lot more grateful for the things that I do have. Um, and I practice gratitude as much as I can. I'd like to say that I do it every day. I was better about it a while ago, but I know I need to get back to it. And I think all of us should really try to practice more gratitude every day and be grateful for what we have. Um, because, like I said, I don't feel like I ever took things for granted necessarily. But I definitely didn't realize how easy things are for us to have. Like we can DoorDash groceries now. You can't do that out there. Amazon has overnight shipping. It doesn't happen over there. My cousin wanted to order something from Amazon. It would have charged her $50 for shipping, and it would have taken a week to get there. So let's be grateful. And we also live in a world that teaches us that we need to work hard 24/7 for the things that we want. And while I do agree that we need to work hard for the things that we want, we can't lose sight of the little things that we already have that make our lives a whole lot easier. Um, we don't need to work 24/7 to have a good life and have our basic needs met or to be happy, right? If you want to work 24/7, by all means, go ahead. And I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying that make sure you have that balance with your life where you're still happy. And the next time you don't feel like you have enough, like you're not there yet, just take an inventory of all the things you do have, all the things that are available to you, all the little things that we do take for granted, and how much difficult your life would be if you didn't have access to it. And what if you didn't have clean water every day? What if you didn't have fresh vegetables every day? What if you don't have a car to take you to work? What if you don't have a roof over your head? It puts things in a much different perspective, and it really shows how much things can change. Whew. All right, you guys, that's it. I mean to bum you out. I hope this, I don't know, I hope this gives you something to think about, especially now during the holidays. And it doesn't scare you away from traveling. I still think that we should all travel so that we have these experiences, right? That we can learn to be grateful, that we can learn from other cultures, from other people, and grow from it. All right. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Check my profile for few of my clients and a few of you on Instagram have asked me about the supplements I use. Go to my profile, and then you'll see the link to the website. It's ep-nutrition.com. If you go through the website like that, you can use Coach Adamir and you'll get a 10% discount. All right, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week, and remember to love yourself and go be the best version of yourself. Bye.